Everybody likes a giveaway.
Ooh, who doesn't?
Yeah.
I like a giveaway.
Shop Tour Bus likes a giveaway.
Everybody's got room for a giveaway.
Tell me about the giveaway. Shop Tour
Okay,
Bus.
so Dead to the Core giveaway. It is designed to shower a deadhead in love. The good old Grateful Dead has created a community for many of us that lets us experience the love that life has to offer and plays the songs that fill the air. May we all be reminded that without love and a dream, it will never come true.
This is true.
And the winner of this giveaway is going to receive 4 different items to shower them in some forever grateful love. So head over to Shop Tour Bus's page and click on the View Shop and see what they got going on and how to enter that.
Oh, okay. And hey, while you're at it, get yourself some Grateful Dead inspired merch because they make the coolest stuff on the digital lot anywhere else, period. And when you're checking out, use the promo code NoSimpleRoad.
All one word.
And you're going to get free shipping from our friends over at Shop Tour Bus. One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third-party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
So, yeah, the storm came and we got beat up and we didn't put out episodes for an entire week, which I don't think we've done that I can remember.
We definitely have not put out episode before.
Hey now, No Simple Road family, this is Aaron.
This is Apple.
And it's Mel.
And this is a midweek episode of No Simple Road.
And we're just discussing whether or not we've skipped out on No Simple Road episodes.
I think very early on we may have missed a week, maybe when we did something. But
It was usually
I can't remember.
It was
a time
usually
that we
tied
did.
in with being at a festival or something. Or it was usually because we were gone somewhere.
You're gone somewhere.
I'm always gone somewhere.
This week on No Simple Road on Wednesday, everybody,
That's right. Midweek.
we have
midweek
our
fun.
hometown homies Yak Attack
Yeah, Dave from Yak Attack.
and our Colorado family, Banshee
Michelle
Tree.
from
Yeah.
Banshee Tree.
Yeah, man.
They are teaming up for a dope tour.
Oh my gosh.
Give us the tour dates, Apple. Tour dates.
Well, I won't go through the whole thing, but they're kicking off tomorrow at Fort Collins, Colorado. Then
Woohoo.
they're hitting like 6 dates in Colorado, 3 in California, Nevada, sweeping all the way up through Oregon, up to Seattle. And then they just added dates to Idaho, 2 in Idaho and 3 in Montana. You
Wow.
need to go check it out.
What's our Portland date?
Our Portland date is February 23rd, which is a Friday.
Right on.
Yeah, these two are going to be.
We are
in
happy and sad at the same
Mexico.
time.
Yeah,
You know,
we're gonna be in Mexico
this-
seeing the fish.
this awesome freaking lineup of Banshee Tree and Yak Attack, and then they finally come to Portland doing this dope tour, and we're going to be in sunny, beautiful Mexico.
Oh darn!
Seeing
Yeah.
our favorite band and relaxing on the beach.
Yeah,
What could we possibly
everybody
do?
understands that one.
Yeah. If you are not familiar with either Yak Attack or Banshee Tree,
Where have you been?
yeah,
Wake
man,
up!
yeah,
Oh.
come on now. No, seriously. We first met Banshee Tree in 2019 at Northwest String Summit, and they knocked our socks literally and proverbially off.
Well, and you know, speaking with Dave, they knocked off Yak Attack socks off too. They knocked off a lot of socks.
There's a lot of socks.
Yeah.
Socks getting
get
knocked.
I mean,
off.
it was summertime, so there was a lot of Tiva sandals and stuff, but still, the socks were definitely off.
And they're also nice. They'll help you put your socks back on, but then they're going to knock them off again.
That's true.
That's
Oh,
what's going
yeah.
to happen.
And if you're anywhere around the Pacific Northwest or this
Where
side
they're going to be.
of the Mississippi, you've most likely seen Yak Attack and their particular set of skills. That's what I will say
Yes.
about Yak
Well
Attack.
put, well
They have a
put.
very particular set of skills that is one hell of a good time. So you are getting Dance Party USA with
yeah.
the double bill of Banshee Tree and Yak Attack coming through your town. So my advice is buy the tickets early
Do it.
so that they can,
I got mine early. I did.
Did-
Yep.
You got yours?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right on, Apple.
We all know about that pre-sale. It's important.
Oh, wow.
And
That
they're
was
going to be at
good.
our favorite venue, The Get Down, here in Portland.
That's right. And hey, everybody, we do say like, go buy the advance tickets and all that stuff. For real, do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like, I'm probably going to go to that show, then go buy the tickets. And if something comes up and you can't go, you can always sell them on like Facebook Marketplace.
Or gift them
something.
to somebody that you know will love the music.
Yeah, man. It really does help the musicians and it helps the venues.
And we
it,
talk a little bit about that here too.
and it keeps the machine of independent venues and live music going strong. And it really does make me happy to see
The
art.
venue's happy, the artist's happy.
It really does make me happy to see our friends going out on tour together like this.
Yeah.
It's really dope. It's a trip to see the No Simple Road family of alumni bands going on tour together. It's
Oh, yeah.
really cool. You want to start the business and get them to the interview?
Yeah.
All right,
We do the business.
here we go. You ready, everybody?
I'm ready.
All right. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on all the social media platforms at No Simple Road. Go to www.nosimpleroad.com. Check out everything that's going on over there. It's a website. There's things there.
There's a merch store.
There's a psychedelic therapy tab where you can get information on if you want to sign yourself up for some psychedelic therapy with Myself Wellness out down in Florida.
You can sign up for a tarot reading with Aaron and Mel.
That's true.
You can do that. You can go to www. I just said that. Aaron, you just said that. You can call
Go do it again.
971-808-1524. That is the No Simple Road Tepid line, and we do have a call.
Oh,
No Simple Road family. This is Dave from California.
What up, Dave?
I've been listening to Friday's interview,
Myself Wellness.
and I really, really dig it. I mean, you just don't know.
I don't.
You're going to tell
It
us.
resonates with me so high, and so much. I wish I had the cash flow to undergo and undertake these treatments with my wellness. But on the flip side of that, this is show related in general. You guys always say that you have, a different quote unquote interview style with your guests. I would like to put forth, and hopefully you guys take this to heart, because
Ooh, I can't wait to hear this.
I do feel it immensely. When you guys have these conversations with your guests, they don't feel like interviews. And for you to continue to call them interviews feels disingenuous.
All right.
And that's because they're so personal. You go beyond.
Yeah.
And that's what I fell in love with your podcast for.
Mm.
And, well, one of the many things, of course. So please consider refraining from using the word interview
How about
and using conversation.
We have,
And of course, that's just one crazy Californian's opinion, but it feels right. It feels the way it should. I love you guys. I love the NSR family, and I hope that everybody's having an extremely fabulous day today. I had just overcame the flu, so I'm out enjoying some sunny weather here in California.
Good for you,
Welcome
buddy.
back.
Returning
Yeah.
to work and getting in the car and driving and enjoying the sun. So much love, much love, much love. Hugs, kisses, all kinds of love to everybody.
All
But-
kinds.
G-rated, please.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Right on,
See, you
Dave.
knew, Dave. How about intersation?
Wait,
I love it.
Converview.
You sound great, Dave. At the very beginning, I was like, oh, wow. And
Hey,
then that
so-
explains over the flu, out getting some sun.
I
Wait.
think that sometimes we just kind of cross over, but we have definitely
So,
talked about conversations for sure. But sometimes
We still call it
we'll call it an
interview.
interview, and it's for no particular reason. I don't think that we're trying to say interview or exclude
it's like
conversation.
the
I have
tradition.
a while back, Mel and I actually had this conversation
Yeah.
about not calling them interviews, Dave. So you're 1,000.
You're on the bar.
Yeah, you are. You right bullseye with that one. And I try really hard to say conversation, and sometimes I forget.
Yeah,
Yep.
same thing.
Yeah,
with me.
all of us slip up to do
So
that.
your suggestion is taken to heart, and you have just confirmed something that Mel and I had talked about maybe 2 years ago.
Also, sometimes like when we reach out to people, we say it's going to be an interview so that it's more professional sounding.
It's what management.
We just want to talk to them. Like, okay, what do you have to say?
That there, folks, is proper use of the No Simple Road Tepid line, aka the Dave from California line.
Yeah, Dave, thanks for calling and mentioning Charles Patty's interview, because I think a lot of people really enjoyed that, and we're getting some really great feedback on that.
Yeah,
so thanks for mentioning it. And if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it, y'all.
Yep. Continuing the business. Here we go. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We haven't had a review since
November 3rd.
November 3rd, everybody. And
Not that I'm counting.
So we've had no new people listen to the show.
it really
since then.
makes my heart sad that somebody can't just leave a review for us. I mean, come on, man. It's just the thing to do.
Somebody else
Well,
can't.
and just said this is the final chance because you're listening to this on January 31st. You can be the one and only.
Yeah, and you'll be the first one of the year.
Yep.
You'll make Aaron really happy. You'll make Mel ecstatic, and you'll have Apple dancing in the streets.
I get very excited. And,
He'll be dancing.
And me and Mel
in the
like to
streets.
tussle over who's going to
I
read
know.
them. And
we kind of give each other the eye behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bring
you
back
do
the
it.
tussle.
Do it. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, everybody. It's not a vainglorious request. It is actually something that really helps the show.
Yeah,
But
it
what
does.
really helps the show is you telling somebody that you know and love about No Simple Road so that they can become part of the No Simple Road family. And we can continue growing this podcast, which is
Yeah.
what we love to do. And if nobody's listening, then we're just in here talking to ourselves.
Well, there are some people listening, but we'd like your friends to listen, and possibly your family, and maybe your coworkers.
Yeah. So,
You know?
It's nice to know other people are listening because we do talk a lot.
yeah, put that in your pipes and smoke it. All right, everybody. We are going to get you to this interview with Dave from Yak Attack and Michelle from Banshee Tree. And I want to remind you that they are going out on tour. Go to their websites, find out where they're going to be. If they're coming through your town, go see them. All right. And so, without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Dave from Yak Attack and Michelle from Banshee Tree.
I can't believe we pulled that off.
I mean, we're definitely generally not tardy, but We've had
No, man. It's been a month.
Yeah, I've been watching you guys.
2024 has been an asshole.
I wouldn't put it that way.
I would.
It's just like down to fight. That's what 2024 is like, down to fight.
January's been an asshole.
There you go.
Hey,
but yours has been great.
Yeah. We've actually never done this before.
Yeah.
This
is a first time
configuration of No Simple Road. We've never had a band member watching a band member on No Simple Road. It's very confusing.
And from
two different bands
Yeah.
at the same time too.
Yeah, so this is it's history.
Breaking ground.
Yeah, it's
here.
history right now.
Happy to be part of it.
Yeah. Dave and Michelle, why don't you guys introduce yourselves to everybody that's listening so that they know who's here because they can't see you?
Sure. You want to go first, Michelle?
Sure. Hey, I'm Michelle. I play drums with Banshee Tree, and we're about to do a tour with my friend Dave, who will introduce himself.
Hey, Dave Dernovsek, and live here in Portland, and my band Yak Attack. We are doing, I think, 14 shows next month in Colorado, California, and the Pacific Northwest as a co-bill with Banshee.
Nevada.
And Nevada, yeah.
Gosh.
Are you guys playing Vegas?
No.
Okay,
Reno.
good. Vegas don't deserve you guys.
Come on. Aaron, can you cheer up a little bit going forward? Because I cooked you a nice dinner before we got here.
Yes, you did.
And
You did.
this is a really cool thing that we're doing.
Well, okay. You're right.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. We got to see Michelle's beautiful face.
I was gonna lay into it, but no, I won't. I'll just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this is awesome and exciting.
Lighten up, Francis.
Yeah, no.
So, Dave, we've never had you on before. Let's hear about Yak Attack. Like, if you had to do like your elevator pitch, be like, what is Yak Attack?
Yeah, sure. So, the way we send it out in our EPKs and stuff is called the Live Electronic Power Trio.
Get up on it, Dave.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
We bill ourselves as a live electronic power trio. So obviously there's just three of us. And what we think our signature sound is a big wall of sound. I use a live looping rig backed by Ableton, but we only record, real audio, nothing pre-recorded or anything from my keyboards and guitar. And then we have live drums and bass. So we like to think it's a really nice dynamic mix between the kind of more produced kind of dancing EDM style of music, and then also the really improvisational with a lot of jamming and a lot of flexibility to improvise. And so that's been kind of our bread and butter. I grew up falling in love with like the 90s British techno and some of that like Detroit house and underground scene, and then of course EDM totally took over the world in the mid to late 2000s. But I had been introduced to some of the pioneers in the scene like Soundtribe, Sector 9, and the New Deal. Wow. And people who are big influences of us, Lotus, and just I had no idea, even String Cheese like in the late 90s when they started doing a lot of
one of the first jam bands to kind of cross over into the EDM space.
Yeah. And so to kind of grow up admiring that style of music and then hearing bands do it live, I never really had considered that possible. And so ever since that point, I was like, I always want to make this kind of music. And having that kind of fusion between a complete live band, blank slate, jam possibilities, and using the looping and the architecture of EDM and the style to construct songs easily and make it sound not just like a looping act, but like a real band that uses looping as a tool. And so we've been at it. This is going to be the 11th year of existence for the band. We started in 2013. And we couldn't be happier to be starting our second decade this way. So,
have you ever wanted to be the headlight on a northbound train?
Hell yeah.
But you just didn't have the fuel to make it happen.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen.
Yeah.
Where can I get some fuel?
Our friends over at Northbound Coffee Roasters have just the thing in store for you. They are a family-owned and operated coffee roastery in Mount Shasta, California, with a combined 22 years of coffee experience and over 600 Grateful Dead shows between the two of them.
I wonder if that makes them better coffee roasters.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That makes us better people.
Hell yeah.
Proprietors Keith and Jen pursue top quality coffees to provide for their customers. Northbound Coffee Roaster specializes in specialty organic coffees with a wide variety of roast profiles, blends, and single origin offerings to match the taste of anyone who enjoys a quality cup of coffee.
And their new medium roasted Sumatra blend is from an all-women producer group, which is rad.
And also they got one more exciting thing going on. They just announced the other day that they are now the proud sponsor and underwriter of the Grateful Dead Hour.
And No Simple Road. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to head over to northboundcoffee.com to learn more and place your order today. They ship anywhere in the U.S. and their coffees are always roasted to order to guarantee that it's actually fresh. Like none of that stuff in the grocery store with no roast date on it. This is like real coffee. When you check out, use the promo code No Simple Road.
No Simple
And
Road.
you're going to get free shipping on your first order of any size anywhere in the U.S. And make sure you sign up for the newsletter for additional discounts and other fun stuff coming from our family over at Northbound Coffee Roasters.
Dang.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is cool. Michelle, can you do the same for Banshee Tree?
Sure. Yeah. So we have a lot of the similar kind of veins that Yak Attack does, where we have like that like element of like influenced by Disco Biscuits and like trance music and that kind of thing. And then blending that with like indie songwriting. Tom's a really good songwriter, so he writes most of the songs, and so we're rooted in that like indie songwriting form. And then we take that mixed with we're also heavily influenced by like Django style swing. So we kind of take all those elements and bring them into like a live jamming scenario where we use a lot of like the trance beats and stuff mixed with the Django style guitar soloing and like indie rock and psych.
Banshee Tree is, I mean, we've told you this before, like the three of us collectively rarely like latch on to something at the same time and where it like, we're like, oh shit. But when we met you all in 19, I think it was at Summit, the three of us collectively, like all at the same time, we're like, oh shit, this is something different. And this is something that we all love together. And it's been really dope watching you guys rise. It's been a blast watching everything. And
Thank you.
And I love the fact that like our hometown boys and you guys are now doing stuff together. How did the connection happen between the two of you?
I think it happened at Sawtooth Valley Gathering. We did, because both did the late night, and we both did the late night, right?
Yeah. We did like Friday and you guys did Saturday, or we did Thursday and you guys did Friday, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we saw each other's bands play and we were like, whoa, this would be a really good, like,
double bill.
Really strong double bill. And like, we got along super well. We're hanging out backstage and we're like, we should do this. And then it just came together.
Everybody in the bands felt like that.
Yeah. So I have to admit, we came into Sawtooth hoping to connect with y'all and talk about this possibility, right? Because I think you talk about Strum at 19.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, y'all played at like one of those top of the bowl tweener sets. And there's, where there's just like thousands of people. And it's just a raging party. I love that stage. And we had to bounce, typical summer festival. You play your show and then you have to get out and go to somewhere else. But all anybody was talking about in our scene was you guys. And then I saw you at some random festival. It was like a small festival in Idaho. And we were doing the late night and I was playing with my friend's band, Lost Ox. And we played, and then we had to like get in the van and drive. We saw like 30 minutes of your set, and that was the first time I saw you guys live. And and then just how it is, you see each other see the posts and the shows and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, these guys are killing it. They have presence in these markets. Like, sounds like the music is obviously great. The talent is obviously great. So we were talking about me and our manager Mitch, just like, I want to get out there and like do it with a band, like where everybody's doing it for the right reasons, and there's like do like a true kind of co-bill, same team kind of thing.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going to be, a fit for a lot of functional reasons. And then when we kicked it at Sawtooth and then saw your full set, I was like, this is going to be the shit. So, I'm really glad it worked out. And yeah, Michelle, thank you so much for, all the hustle you put in to, help get things routed and everything. And, the tour looks fantastic and can't wait to get started next week.
We interrupt this program with an important news bulletin. Take care of your head. Your head's important.
Very important.
One of the ways that you can take care of your head is through one of our fantastic sponsors, Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates.
Mushroom chocolates, you say?
That's right.
Wow, mushroom chocolates. Okay.
And guess what? They got a brand new flavor.
What's the flavor, Apple? Tell us.
It's quinoa puff
Crunch.
Quinoa crunch.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to say quinoa punch. That'd be disgusting.
So try that one and the other flavors. I think there's about 9 other flavors. And if you don't like that, they also have capsules now.
Yep. Every bar comes with 4 grams of their sacred mushroom blend, along with other adaptogens and functional mushrooms. And they ship anywhere in the U.S. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Instagram and follow @meltmushrooms, MELTMUSHROOMS, and shoot them a DM. Tell them that No Simple Road sent you. And you are going to buy one, get one half off from our family over at Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates.
Don't hesitate. Take care of your head.
That's right. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
So
Yeah.
Michelle, you took care of these arrangements. Is that how that happened?
Yeah, I booked it.
Dang. So you're booking stuff on top of all the other stuff you're posting on Instagram?
Yeah.
Let's hear what you've been up to lately, because in addition to Banshee Tree, you have this booming career where you're traveling with you're on stage with everybody. We were just talking about it right before we hopped on. Like, if you live in Colorado or tour through Colorado, you've seen or played with Michelle. And that's that's what it feels like. And that's awesome, because that shows your diversity, first of all. And you know how we feel. We're like Michelle with the mad beats. That's when we first met you. That's how we felt. And we still feel like that, because now with Lindsay Lou. So can you talk a little bit about your career and kind of where it's headed, maybe since 2019 or?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, well, since 2019, God, that's like
years,
there's like worlds within
right?
2019.
Right.
So however long you feel is right. That's
yeah, that was when Banshee Tree really started growing, was like 2019, and then pandemic. Somehow we managed to like grow through the pandemic, because we used the time to like make an album, and then like we're out the gates touring as soon as we could. So that was like a big part of everything. And then a year ago, I did that Denver Comes Alive show at the Mission. And that's where I met Lindsay Lou and like all the Winter Wonder Woman and like that whole scene. So she asked me to just tour with her to do like to support her album. So yeah, we just did 2 weeks with Green Sky, which was really a pleasure. And yeah, and I'm just doing like sprinkled tours here and there with her. And now Banshee Tree is going to start hitting it super hard, starting with this tour here. So we've been working on our album, so that's almost done.
Yay!
And so that's hopefully fall release. And so yeah, I've really just been touring with Banshee Tree, Lindsay, and then starting to release solo music.
When do you sleep?
I weirdly sleep a lot.
I just picture you like at your drive. You're like you're sleeping, but you're still playing. Like don't stop. Like Energizer Bunny.
I'm not gonna lie. I have woken up at my drum set more than once.
Oh, but we started this whole, and then you have the booking on top of that. And that's how, so how do you go about booking for a tour like this?
Honestly, this one was the easiest tour I've ever booked because like it's such a badass like co-bill. It's just like a fun show start to finish because we're both like dance party bands. So like it was like and we have like similar strong regions. So like it came together pretty easy. I just focused on each different region we wanted to do. And then when I got enough holds in each region, then we just went through and confirmed them all.
Wow. So, like based on the region, what rooms to approach and how to do that, like who to go to and all that stuff. And is that just come from like years of touring and doing your thing and getting relationships with people?
Yeah. Relationships are like the most important thing. And like when you find a venue that you have that is like a good vibe and is like the right size for your band and the right like audience, then like I'll keep going back to them until we outgrow them because I think it's important to keep relationships. So yeah, my network of like venues and stuff just grew from doing it for so many years.
For both of you, we've seen both bands growing over the past, since COVID, really. I think both of you have really like started to kind of rise to the top of the scenes. I know that it's your dream to play music and to do it for as many people as possible, but when you've had a dream for a long time and it's finally starting to come true, do you see it as it's happening?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I remember you see a band like Eggy or something that like came through the West Coast for like the first time, or like happened with the special, and they're playing these rooms for the first time ever, and there's like 300, 400 people there on a Wednesday, and you can see that like it's beating expectations for them,
right?
And they can and I feel like capturing those moments, like if you're in the audience watching a band like that, just like be so like high on the audience reaction, and they can kind of like see that path forward, and there's like glimmers, right? And so I think I always look at it, there's things that make you feel that way, and then there's things that don't make you feel that way. And a lot of times there'll be like 10 plus things that happen either way like that in a single day. For me, I try to be real. I try to be on like the realistic, cynical side of things and just say, like if you asked me where I wanted to be in X amount of time, and I wouldn't want to tell you I want to be here in this amount of time or whatever.
Right.
I just want to be like either still having fun or making some kind of incremental progress. And for me, that's all I can hope for, realistically, with the way the industry works and how competitive everything is. And the fact that there's young guns nipping at your heels, every day that have better backing and better marketing and are, super talented. And it's tough out there for anybody. And, so at this point, I'm pretty much just grateful to still be doing it. So the opportunity to play with incredible bands and go out and, as Michelle put it really well, I think developing partnerships with the venues, the communities, the fans, cause we're all on the same team here. And, it's one thing I think has really changed with COVID is just the realities of there's not enough money, for anybody to make it right now. It's tough. And, so we used to, our team would go aggressively negotiate with venues and get the highest guarantees we could, et cetera, et cetera. And now places can't afford to stay in business that way and take that kind of risk. And, so we're trying to really make sure that, if the show is successful, it's going to be successful for everybody. And, and if it turns out to be a little deader, I really can't afford to have the venue taking a huge loss, because that venue might shut its doors the next time we're through, or we might not be able to play that market.
So you have to like care for the scene by allowing that to happen occasionally.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think there's a fine balance between like being realistic and looking out for everybody, and advocating for yourself, because if you don't strongly do that, then everyone will take advantage of you, right?
Oh, shit.
And finding that balance, and playing the long game. So it's not just about this show or how much money you're making this time. It's about, how often do you want to be back here, and how do you want your band to be developing in these markets, I think is really important. And so we're definitely trying to take that long-term approach, and not worry too much about metrics or how many followers we're getting, or if those moments happen where we feel like, hell yeah, this is awesome, that's great, and I'll take them. But if I were to commit myself to a certain amount of those or a certain amount of progress, it's just, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And also
that's a healthy approach to take. It really is. It's like rational and reality based.
Well, and the comparison game is fucked.
Yeah,
too, man. As soon as you start comparing yourself, what did they say? Comparison is the thief of joy. Like you're done.
Totally.
Well, we just happened to have Blake. I just want to bring that up.
Hopefully,
Blake was here last night, the owner of the Get Down, talking a little bit about what you just said about, there's just simply not enough money for everybody to make as much as they deserve. That's just straight up. Definitely the musicians clearly need more, but then the promoters need more. Because then how are you going to find out about these awesome musicians? And then you got to deal with those partnerships like you were talking about, Michelle, of the bookers of these places. And then the venues, it's so expensive to keep a venue open. This is like dead space all day, most of the day, unless they have a secondary thing, to have these acts. So it's like, how do we get some blood flow or fresh air into this art to bring some more money into it, or allocate it in a more fair way?
Well, I don't know about this, Mel. If the independent venue, the smaller venues don't operate, then we're not going to see new music. Then music we're shut off from the ability to go experience new bands. Yeah, the bigger bands that can play the 2,500 plus rooms are going to be able to do their thing, but the band that's just starting out, we wouldn't know about Dogs in a Pile. We wouldn't know about Eggy if it wasn't for independent smaller venues. You know what I mean? We wouldn't know about Yak Attack because they've had to come up through that scene to be able to be heard. And I think it's important for bands to do what Yak Attack and Banshee Tree are doing in partnering together to make it doable for everybody, so that the thing can stay alive. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Michelle, have you kind of had the opportunity to step outside of yourself and see what's going on and the rise of Banshee Tree and you, and kind of take it in and feel it?
Yeah, it's funny that you say step outside of yourself, because that is exactly what it takes. It's because you can just get in the minutia of constantly picking up the goalpost and moving it. But yeah, I have, because I really appreciate, I have so much gratitude with the way people receive us and the community that we're able to build. Even you guys, when we first met in 2019, we had never played Oregon before, I don't think. And that was our first bigger festival. And you guys welcomed us like family. And the ease with which we're able to create families and good feelings all over the place it gives me this excitement and confidence that we're able to grow, because that's I see us being able to do that. So I have been able to feel it.
It's a trip. My dad was a movie producer and a writer and a director, and my whole life he was hustling. He never worked a 9 to 5. He was always doing his thing. And I remember him saying when I finish a project, the while they're doing the rap party, I'm already thinking about the next project. And I was always wow, that's fucking kind of sad, man. You never had the opportunity to soak in your success. But I say that to say, like, we did that thing with Frasco at Ophelia's last year, and I had one of those moments of like stepping outside of myself and being like, holy shit. Like, if I had told myself 5 years ago that this is what I was going to be doing right now, it would have been like, no way, you know?
Yeah.
But immediately, as soon as it was over, I was like, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? I was like, and I think that that's important to be able to step outside of yourself and see your success. And like you said, have gratitude for where you're at and the hard work that you've done, and like feel pride and proud of yourself and fuck yeah, I did it. But then also on the flip side of that, be able to put that away back in your pocket and be like, all right, let's go.
Mount up.
Let's keep going. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And not for any kind of like, don't get me wrong, not for any kind of like hustle mentality of like, I got to be at the top of the fucking pile and I want all, you know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? I want to have the most fun possible. That's the goal. Like,
that's what you were saying,
do the
Dave.
coolest
Like,
shit I
Play on
can
the next
possibly
thing.
do, and that's the goal. It's not like I don't, you know, I would love to be as big as Joe Rogan. It's never going to happen. I would love it, but if it doesn't happen, that's fine. As long as I have fun with my family and my friends, like, cool, I'm good to go.
You're big.
Yeah.
You're bigger than Joe Rogan. He's pretty
He
short.
is small. He's like 5'8". I'm 5'11". You're right. Done. Score. All right. Moving on. Next.
Yeah.
What's next?
No, I think that's like that's kind of like the shadow side of like someone who's constantly wanting to like grow and improve and get better, and like is like the like not allowing yourself to celebrate it and just like needing to grow without like, you know, feeling good enough. But if you can like ride the line between like growing and still appreciating all the growth, I think that's the sweet spot.
I feel like gratitude is what really allows you to digest that feeling of like you accomplish more, you want more, you accomplish more, you want more. When you're grateful, it kind of takes it off of the task and what you're receiving, and it's just happy for the experience, you know? And so you're not like, you know, that chasing your tail. It's just like you said, kind of walking a nice fine line.
And it helps you move from like an egocentric, like I achieved this to a you know, a much more healthy and sustainable pattern of humility where it's like, you know, yeah, we played an awesome show. It's not like I put on this awesome show. I'm grateful that all of you showed up. I'm grateful that the band killed it, you know, and that we, you know, have, you know, ability to provide those experiences for people. And, you know, it's, I feel very much like it's not about me when we throw a successful show, because, you know, it's usually because there's so much energy and so much love, you know, in the room. And I think it can be tough to stay humble in this game sometimes, you know, and just like always keeping that mindset that, you know, you're creating something with the help of everyone around you and with the help of your community, and, you know, and the mechanic who fixes your van, and, you know, it takes so many people with the help of, you know, folks like yourselves. You're talking about this before the show, you know, it elevates us local musicians when, you know, we're able to come on and do interviews with folks who have got a national platform and things like that. So, you know, we're all part of it. And, you know, for me, you know, every single one of those people is invested in a part of, you know, all those good feelings
in the piece of the pie.
I love that too. And like you were talking, like being in the sweet spot and all that and everything is something we learned a while ago. Once we got in our rhythm, like everything we do is our new favorite. It's like a joke. It's like a joke with us. It's like went to a show last night. That was my favorite show ever. And then you go to a show the next night because our community is so strong and supportive. And like he said, it's not really about you. It's about the community and the new connections and stuff. So we joke it's like that's my new favorite. And you know, it's just going to keep getting better. And that's amazing.
Until we go to the Sphere, and then that's it. And that's where
everything's over.
Yeah.
You guys got Sphere tickets?
We did.
Yes.
Oh, through the lottery?
Nice.
No.
Okay.
I did the travel package thing.
Him and Mel go all out. I only get to do the Sunday show.
I do.
I got to work on 420. I work in the cannabis industry, and there is no way you can have 420 off when you're in the cannabis industry. Yeah, it's
That's
yeah.
420 is the last day of our tour. We just added 5 more dates like in April. And we're going to end in Big Sky, Montana.
On 420.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't think of a prettier place to spend 420 for sure.
This is the other sad thing too, is Aaron and Mel are going to be in Mexico when you guys play here at the Get Down.
Yeah.
I am going to be there, but they're going to be. That was the one thing they were like, oh shit,
Man, that was
Apple,
a gut. That was a gut punch for us.
Yeah, so Apple's got to represent for No Simple Road.
But Apple, you're going to be there.
Oh
so
yeah.
Well, and you know who else is going to be there is Kat, Michelle. She's going to be there too.
Yes.
So another way that this community grows, again, another Colorado connection. You know, a friend of ours, a mutual friend of Michelle's and I, moved from Colorado and ended up working at the same place. And she found out about, you know, our show and was like, oh my gosh, and saw like that we had talked to you and just like kind of the synchronistic way of like, oh my gosh, you know Michelle, oh my gosh, that, you know, and the community of the fans, which is what we are. Mm-hmm. That's what we started out as, you know, just pure fans of music. Like you were saying, I love what you were saying, Dave, about everybody having a part. Mm-hmm. And people like her, she is a champion of you as a female, as a fellow Coloradan, as a badass musician. Like, and so I think that kind of energy that's going toward y'all for the fans recognizing what an elevating and really like these are like these experiences we talk about them all the time. Like you were saying, Michelle, like 2019 I think was a big year for all of us, right? Like there was a lot going on in 2019 that kind of felt like a pinnacle of some sort, and we were making all these connections and meeting these amazing people, and like the weather was beautiful. Like, you know what I mean?
Birds were singing. There was a unicorn on our lawn.
No, it was like this incredible thing. And like, even through 2020, somehow that good energy managed to keep growing.
Right. Because
most of the bands that we're all going to now and like are doing the, you know, bumped up from those smaller venues, that 2020 was their time, and 2021, and, you know, like on and on. So like, I think that community is getting so much thicker. You know, the soup is getting to be more of a stew now, you know, and it feels so good to be, like you said, Dave, again, everyone's doing their part. And I hadn't really seen it quite like you were mentioning it a minute ago before, you know, that we're like helping the piece of the pie with the local artists or whatever, but like, and local, meaning every, you know, our state's local, you know, but yeah, it's just like really cool to be a part of this, to see these kinds of relationships grow. And I'm really sad we're going to miss the show.
I know.
I can't believe you're going to miss our show February 23rd at the Get Down in Portland.
Yeah, I know. But you guys listening should totally go.
February 23rd
at the Get Down.
Or the big, where you playing the Big Dirty down in Eugene.
Yep.
And the Volcano Room in Bend.
Yeah, Volcanic Theater in Bend.
Volcanic Theater. Okay.
And then we're doing High Dive in Seattle. That's the last week of the tour. But we've got 6 shows in Colorado, and that's where the tour starts. So the first date is going to be Thursday, February 1st at the Coast in Fort Collins. And then we're doing Friday at the Magic Beans. They're super homies for many, many years. And they do like a winter mini festival in Frisco. So we're doing that on Friday.
Dope.
It's going to be us, then Banshee, then Magic Beans on one bill. It's going to be insane.
Wow. That's an overload.
Yeah. And then Saturday we're doing Cervantes in Denver, and that's a big show for us. So so you know, people always ask what you can do to support bands. Buy those advance tickets online in our bio.
Buy the advance tickets.
Do it.
You know, and if you can't come, then you can post on Facebook that you have some extra tickets you want to sell, because I hear all those are totally legitimate.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, like the whole advance ticket thing. I never understood that was even a big deal. I was like, well,
yeah.
I mean, if you get them in advance, it doesn't matter. You can get them at the door. Who cares? I never understood that. That's a really huge thing for you, right?
Yeah, it helps. It definitely it makes people want to book us again if we sell a lot of tickets before the show. Because then it's like, okay, we're good with the show. We know it's gonna, there's always a bunch of walk-ins, but if there's a solid amount of pre-sales, it's very helpful for the bands.
All right.
We got to make advance tickets the coolest shit out there.
Yeah.
Like it's like designer something. Like, oh my gosh, I got my advance
If you get your ticket,
what?
your advance ticket, you get a free sticker.
Or you like get it early and you like get it early and you wear it. It's like all bedazzled
like,
or something.
Yeah, we'll bedazzle your pre-sale ticket.
You want to do
or
something,
or you can just get that lame, boring ticket at the door. Like,
dumb. Do you guys want to do something different?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Michelle. So interview Dave.
Interview Dave.
Yeah.
Gosh, yes. Okay, maybe not interview. Let's do like two,
just a couple of questions.
2 questions each.
Yeah, a couple of questions.
Okay. Dave, which shows are you the most excited for on this tour we have coming up?
Ooh, definitely Denver, and definitely Frisco. In terms of the Colorado ones, both those I think are gonna go off and gonna be really good times. I am pretty pumped to play this weird like warehouse party that we're playing on Valentine's Day too in Oakland. It's we've been connecting with various folks when we go and play San Francisco, and there's I had no idea how bifurcated the scene was between San Francisco proper and East Bay, for instance. And so there's apparently like a, vibrant musician scene. And we're doing this little pickup gig with one of our buddies that we met from Oakland. And it's going to be like a, start late and end super late kind of thing. And it's going to be, a little looser and vibey and, but it should be a new kind of experience. And then obviously, always really excited to play hometown shows and really excited to get back to the Get Down, and that's gonna be a rocking show. So I'm pretty pumped for all of them, but I think those are some highlights that I'm really looking forward to. So yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Cool.
Excellent question, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you. Why did you start playing music?
I actually have a good origin story. So my parents say when I was 3 years old, I had one of those like toy xylophones that every kid has.
Yes.
And so they say that when I was 3, I came home from church one day and started playing all the songs from church on the toy xylophone.
Oh, wow.
And so they were like, maybe we should get this kid like piano lessons.
So you had the ear at like 3.
I had the ear. Yeah.
Wow.
And so then I spent, part of my early to middle childhood doing like the classical music competitions and stuff like that, and I burned out of that at age 11, because at that point there's 8-year-olds who are practicing 8 hours a day that are just kicking my ass.
Wow. Oh my God.
And so I kind of just went and became a kid again for a while, and then in high school discovered jam band music and discovered like electric guitar, and started getting back into it on the popular / jam psych classic rock side.
Right.
And I'm glad that I had the time off, and glad that I was able to develop those chops at an early age, and also glad that I don't play that type of music anymore. I love it and respect it. I think it's that a very high version of the art form, but that's a really tough kind of way to create, to have every single note dialed in, have everything like already subject to tons of people's interpretations, and and then still be working your ass off and having a crapshoot chance of any kind of sustainable success. It's tough.
That's
so
wild.
I have a lot more fun on stage now than I did back then. I could tell you that.
That sounds like really anxiety driven performance. Like, oh my God, at every moment. Like, and if the fuck up happens, it's the end of the world. Where like in improv music, you
Like
fuck
discipline.
up, and everybody's like, "Yay, they fucked up!" You know?
It's like dance.
You get props if you play like partially correctly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, we almost got that foam. You know, it's like
It's like the different like dancing at a jam band show compared to like ballet. Disciplined and hurting and bandaged up to just having fun. Yeah.
Michelle, you killed it.
That was great.
Thanks.
Did great.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. You know what's about to happen.
okay.
It's your turn.
All
Two
right.
questions for Michelle.
So, Michelle, with Banshee Tree's rise over the past few years, are you guys planning on pushing east or nationwide this year? And is there anything you can share about those plans at this point?
Good question. Yes, we are planning on going east. We right now I'm basically waiting on some festival holds, and if they come through, then I'm going to build a tour around that. So hopefully we'll be doing an East Coast tour in June. And we're going to Florida in one of them I can't announce yet, but we are going to do a Key West show in March. So we're going out to Florida in March, doing some shows at the Parrot. And we'll probably go to Florida also at some point in the summertime or like spring. So nothing is like written in stone yet, but we plan to get out there and hopefully do some Midwest stuff as well.
Awesome.
Okay.
I got one more
One
question.
more.
Okay. What advice would you give to a band trying to roll around in a shitty van in Colorado during the winter?
In the winter
Completely objective question here.
Yeah.
Really?
You were asking for a friend.
Snow tires. I would recommend snow tires.
tires.
Full coverage.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's
Mind you, I said shitty van.
Chains.
Yeah, but no, legit. I would get snow tires.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to put that on the list, baby.
Is it? I mean, is it gnarly? I've never been in the wintertime. I've only been to Dick's in the summertime.
Well,
so.
we're doing some mountain shows, so we're doing Schmiggities. Yeah, actually, I'm really excited about that. One's gonna be awesome because it's during their like winter carnival weekend, so it's
Oh,
like
sweet.
the busiest weekend of the year there. So we're going out to Steamboat, and that's like up over a pass and all that stuff. So it can be pretty gnarly.
Okay.
And where else are we going?
You said
In the mountains.
Schmiggities?
Schmiggities.
That's
yeah.
that's a dope name. We're going to play
Yeah.
Schmiggities.
Yeah, it's in Steamboat Springs.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
and we're doing Buena Vista or I
Buena
grew up in
Vista.
Colorado, and so it's like it always bugs me when the locals will say Buena Vista because it clearly
yeah,
isn't
that's
Buena
right. That's
Vista.
how they say it.
But-
Yeah, Buena Vista. Yeah. It can be snowy there too.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
snow
It's
tires,
gnarly
man.
out here.
Michelle, it gets gnarly here now too. Just
I
saying.
know.
Yeah.
Nobody is safe.
No, exactly.
The Earth decided to change the game for all of us. So yeah,
Yep.
it's a
Or we
weird.
decided to change the game for Earth.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There. That's probably better said. So,
I want to ask one last question, and then whatever you were going to say.
just one more.
Well, maybe I'll
This is
have a
it for Mel
follow-up.
forever. You're done. No
Maybe.
Simple Roads over.
I want to know and this is for either of you, Dave or Michelle, do you have like at the beginning of the year, do you subscribe to like making like a goal, like a musical goal for yourself, or like, do you have musical goals for yourself or make them?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I wouldn't say it's at the beginning of the year. It's always rolling though.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm always looking 6 months to a year out. I'm like a super nerd. Like I'm surrounded by like a whiteboard that says Banshee Tree 8 months and has like tour zones and album projection goals and all that. And then I have a calendar right here that has like all these sticky notes like that get moved as like the things happen. So I'm looking like in 6 months, 3-6 year chunks, and just, as the goals are made, more goals get developed. So it's like a continual.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That actually sounds very much like for all the tech nerds out there, an agile delivery board.
Oh yeah,
You put the little tasks for your code, and then you move them across, and everything is always shifting and being dynamic with what your priorities are at the moment. I think I'm very ashamed to admit my what sounds like far inferior organizational prowess in my music life. I can tell you the main thing that I've been trying to get done for a long time now, and I'm again very ashamed to admit how long it's taken, but we do have new recorded music, in the works. We've got 4 songs that are in the can and ready to be sent to mastering. And, so we started recording, these songs literally the day that COVID kind of got quote announced.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's just been one of those long processes. And, I have more trouble than I used to kind of being in that, perfectionist, long form studio setting. But we have made some milestones there, and hopefully we will have some good stuff to release later this year.
Cool.
And yeah, so pumped to put some new studio stuff out there.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's other than saying hi and giving you a hug, that's like the first thing I asked you when we were out on the patio. I was like, new music coming?
It's the improvisational music scene is a strange animal, because I can listen to Studio Grateful Dead or Studio Fish or whatever, insert jam band name here, and then I can listen to live that band, and it's 2 different things. They're completely different, and I can't think of another like genre of music that's quite like that. I mean, pop music, if you go see the pop star play, you're going to hear the album, basically.
Right.
That sound of the song, yeah.
So for both of you, is it difficult to translate the sound of your band in the studio and in a way that you feel is genuinely representing what you do live?
Yeah, so for Yak, it's I think we've done a couple things. One is we haven't gone full tilt with like post-production and instrumentation and like structures or songs that we couldn't replicate live. So that's the first thing you're tempted to do, especially with the live loop rig. There's some just technical limitations that prevent you from doing certain things that, a 5-piece band could do, for instance.
Right.
But we try to, write the songs and record them in a way that sounds realistic so that when we do play live, it sounds pretty much like the studio songs sound pretty much the same live. And the other thing is with our particular configuration, I can lay down all the different layers and have all my sounds at the ready. So, I'll sometimes for studio records, I'll use synths that are, more expensive and more analog signal chains, and I'll use real pianos and stuff like that. But overall, I'm using sounds that, can be created live. So I don't want the listener to be like, oh, well, they were cool live, but it sounds nothing like the record. But I also don't want people thinking that we're just playing exactly like the record.
Right.
And so
that's a tough balance.
Yeah. So that's been our kind of approach for our
spot.
albums.
Yeah.
What about you, Michelle?
I would say that we've kind of embraced the dynamic of the difference between, the album sound and the live thing. I kind of love that the songs are really different live. And the first album, our first album is basically live tracked. So it's like, it is the songs in their pure form, and we play those songs and we just kind of extend them and, add jams into them and stuff. This next album that we're doing, we are like we're going in with like layering lots of violin, and like we'll probably even put some synth on it. And we're just going to dive into like making the album just like a full, beautiful album, and just kind of embracing the fact that when we play those songs live, you're going to get those songs, you're going to get the verses, the choruses, they're all going to hit. But like, I love that they sound different. And I think we're going to do a live album so that we have that component, because it does make it a little bit difficult to, especially for what we have out now, like, here's what we have online. It's not really what you get live. Like, you know, I have the archive.org stuff to like live shows to like send to people to kind of show people what we do live. But yeah, I think having just a live album would be like the perfect kind of like way to meet in the middle with all those things.
Yeah. It's such a interesting corner of the art world, of the music world, because of that. Like, there's so many bands that we had never seen before, and like before we would go to the show, you try and listen to the studio stuff and you're like, this doesn't hit. And then you go see them live, and you're like, oh, that's my new favorite. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
and then you go back and listen to that studio stuff, and it rocks. You're like, you hear it different now. Like, oh, my ears are turned on to this shit now. I can hear it. So
you can fill in the spaces.
Yeah, and it's a weird, like I said, that doesn't really exist elsewhere. You're not getting that with a, you know, Bruce Springsteen show or Billy Joel or Taylor Swift or
you can't
whatever.
say that until you go to them. You don't know.
Okay,
I heard that
take me
the
to go see
boss
Taylor
is
Swift.
Amazing. Yeah.
You can't afford that. You can afford Fish, but you can't afford Taylor
That's
Swift.
true.
Dude, I heard Taylor Swift does some massive type
Priorities,
2. You know?
You never know. Dead and Company could come out with some crazy shit next year, like, or this year. Taylor Swift on tour with them, and John Mayer. Yeah, but I think I like that. I like that part of this, of like kind of not knowing. If I haven't seen a band, not knowing, and the studio stuff being, I like that. I like going to a show and being surprised, and in a good way, and then being able to go back. I think that would be the hardest part of being a improvisational music band to me, of like, how do we get people to listen to us that haven't come to the show to know who we are? You know what I mean? Like that, I think that's the thing.
No, that is a thing. That's totally a thing. 'Cause yeah, it's like if you show an album that's like polished and clean, and it's like, it's hard to get into certain spaces if your album doesn't represent like that live, high energy, like jam thing. People aren't going to have any reason to believe that that's what you do, because they don't have that sample.
Yeah. And
wow,
the polish that's on it may not be there live. Right. But I mean, that's kind of the live thing. It shouldn't be, at least to me. I don't want it polished. I want it raw. I want the train wreck possibility at all times. You know what I mean? Like, but when they hit it, that's when the magic happens. Like, I'm waiting for that, you know, the in between moment. So
right.
I always wonder, like, how you find that balance. And I think that kind of doing what you guys are doing by going out together is one way to expose new fans to other bands. Like, people that like Yak that haven't seen Banshee Tree are now going to see you guys for the first time and get to know who you are, and vice versa. It would, I wonder if, like, if you guys had considered all of that before going out, like if, you know, melding the two audiences together is part of going out on the road.
I mean, I definitely think that there's like a strategic consideration of that, but I can tell you from our perspective, this was musically something that we were really excited for. I mean, you know, we've for a long time liked to do shows with like bluegrass bands and things like that. And, you know, you think about the way the kick drum is and 4 on the floor is just like it is in house music. And, you know, bass on the upbeats is just like it is when you're ducking the kick and, you know, having your sidechain compressors on and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like just, you know, very base level similarities, and it's both danceable and, you know, we choose to try to focus on the uplifting side and the melodic side of electronic music and stuff like that. And so I think, you know, the vibe is going to be both real consistent in terms of it's going to be dancey and entertaining, and I think great just from a musical kind of talent and sophistication perspective, but also the way that we approach kind of those components is so different and unique from each other that I think it'll be that nice balance between you're going to watch both bands and be like, wow, like these bands were, you know, very different from each other, but also there's a consistency to make sense in terms of like the vibe and the overall energy and stuff like that. So that's what I think most excited about this. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Before we go, Michelle, I have to ask a strange question before we leave. So, I'm sure that on stage you've had spiritual moments.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one particular moment like that stands out to you in the last year?
In the last year.
Okay, let's not leave it to the last year. Ever. Let's do ever.
Yeah. So one that really stands out to me, we were playing with, we were opening for Devotchka on New Year's Eve at the Bluebird in Denver. And I was like, performing didn't always come natural to me. There was like a point when I like realized that as a musician, that meant I had to be on stage all the time. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, we're in this. But, so like I didn't, you know, I was always really like shy with the audience and like, you know, didn't look up too much. And I had this moment where it was like my drum solo moment, and it's like a packed crowd with like balcony and everything. And I looked up during the solo and like everybody was holding me. And it was just this like moment of just like deep gratitude and like realization that I could just like completely let my walls down and allow people to hold me back.
Whoa. And does that carry over after into day to day with like integrating the experience?
Well, you mean in letting my walls down and allowing that?
Yeah.
I think it carried through on the stage, like in like anytime I would feel like stage fright or like, you know, and anything like that, or if I started to feel like in my head about like messing up or whatever, I could go back to that moment and remember that like everybody wants you to succeed. Everybody's at the show because they want to like create this energy vortex that we're all creating together.
Right.
So I can let all that shit go because like we're all here for the same reason.
Yeah.
Wow. And to the idea that you personally were ever shy on stage is fucking mind blowing to me. Like, it's after seeing what you do up there, like, really?
Yeah.
For reals?
Yeah. I used to get scared.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's a trip.
Do you still get scared?
No, actually, I'm like very comfortable. And
Right on.
in fact, I really love being on stage now. It's like, it's almost like that feels like more safe to me than like, I don't know,
I get it.
Yeah.
being in a coffee shop or something.
Right on.
Dave, what about you, man? Have you had spiritual experiences on stage?
Yeah, I really like the example that Michelle you were giving, because I feel that really resonates with me. I'm, you know, my workflow on stage is pretty intense. There's always lots of like buttons and stuff. So I find myself kind of, I'm naturally kind of introverted and shy, I think. And so I'll often be hiding behind my keyboards, just pressing buttons like, literally the whole time. And then once in a while, I'll have like 8 bars where I don't have to do anything. And if it's a really raging show and you can, you know, I like look out, take a little 15-second vid and enjoy that moment, you know, and those moments are always, you know, graceful for me.
That's dope.
I think from, you know, from the annals of history, you know, one of the biggest crowds we've ever played for is when we opened for Pigeons Playing Ping Pong at the Ogden in Denver in 19. And so we're on stage in front of, sold out crowd of like 1,600 people. And all of our monitors just completely stopped working during like the first song. And they were like not able to resolve the issue for like most of our set. And, it's like big rooms and there's big slapback delay. And so, we try in vain to work with the text to fix it. And after about 3 minutes, like Jake was like, dude, we just got to do it. So we played like virtually the whole set with absolutely no monitors.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And it was just nail biting the whole time. Right. But then when it was over and we didn't shit the bed, that was definitely a spiritual moment.
That's when you say, thank God.
Yes. Oh my God.
Wow.
Holy shit, man. Okay.
Crazy.
We went to Skull and Roses. No, was it not last year, but the year before? And headliner night was Saturday night. It was O'Teal and Friends.
Oh.
And everybody's like, it's Saturday night at a Deadhead festival. Like, this is all Grateful Dead cover bands for 4 days.
Yeah.
And so it's the Saturday night headliner. Everybody's ready. The sun's going down. We're on the beach. Like, O'Teal and Friends are coming out. And like 45 minutes goes by. Nobody takes the stage. An hour goes by. Nobody takes the stage. No announcement.
Well, prequel to that. Big Steve and the Ass Bites played before that, and apparently they played so loud and turned everything up, they blew
the monitor system. So O'Teal comes out and like they played one song, and everybody's like, "All right, here we go." They played one more and they left, and everybody was like, "What the hell happened?" Like, house lights up, everybody leaving.
Time to go home. Like,
what happened to you happened to them, and they were like, "Fuck this, we're not doing it."
Damn.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
yeah. So kudos.
Yeah, good job,
Get
man.
up there and do it.
Wow.
Hold on. I want one last question. This will be a quick and easy one.
All right.
Everybody loves to learn about new music. Both of you. Something you've listened, something you've discovered recently, band, artist, or something that you've been listening to, would like to share.
I've been listening to a lot of God. I'm like, who should I pick? I feel like everybody knows about them already, but
That's fair.
That's cool.
Big Thief has been. You guys don't know them?
No.
Check them out.
All right.
Big Thief. Okay.
Yeah. They're kind of like indie. I would say just straight up indie. They're from upstate New York, and just the most beautiful songwriting.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Good one. Big Thief. And we didn't know.
I just followed him.
Right.
There you go. Done.
Dave.
I got to give a shout out to my favorite song, the band that does my favorite song of all time, Knower. They're not, exactly new, but they just released a new album. Lewis Cole and Genevieve Artadi from the LA virtuoso scene. And they're just absolutely killer musicians and very wry sense of humor.
Okay.
And very like interesting and super music nerdy, but still dancey songwriting. So definitely resonates with me a lot.
Okay.
What about you, Apple?
Lately?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't do that without. Yeah.
No fish.
They don't need anyone else to know.
I'm going to throw a weird one out there, and I haven't even played this for Aaron or Mel. It's kind of heavy. It's a band called Goat. And
cool.
Goat is from Oslo, Sweden.
Is it Norwegian death metal?
No, it's not death metal. It's not death metal, but it's very like they sing about tarot and stuff, and they all wear like kind of draped masks and stuff.
Oh my God, I've seen photos they came through town, and I saw a bunch of photos, and I was like, who is this band?
Okay, yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
Didn't
they've played Denver a few times. There's a few bands like that.
Okay.
You're the one that I think where they have the antlers and stuff. That's the other one. But Go, and they have two female vocalists the just the way they duet together and singing that some of the songs don't have much vocals, but when they sing together, it's just amazing. They're called,
Okay.
and it's just Goat, because there's there's like Mountain Goat. There's a lot of different goat bands out there. Goat from Oslo, Sweden.
All right.
Right.
I got
Very different.
I have two. So we interviewed Reggie Watts the other day, which was like a dream come true for me. And so I've in prep for that interview, I've been listening to like his R&B shit that he was creating in Seattle in like the mid 90s. This band called Mock Tube. That's fucking awesome. But the one that I showed these guys that's amazing is from Denver, I think. And the band's called Itch.io.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
They're crazy.
Holy
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
man.
that's mind blowing.
If for all you out there, if you like
Do you know them, Dave?
Pucifer, or Tool and drumming and costumes,
Yeah, they have 20-something percussionists.
But
Yeah.
it's so different.
it's the trippiest
thing.
shit you've ever seen. It's a whole circus
Yeah.
of nightmares. It's awesome. It's awesome. What about you, Mel?
That's a good one. I like that. Doesn't let it go.
I've been kind of boring lately, and I've been listening to, well, it's Don Evangelino, and
Why
it's
is that boring?
well because it's like it's not like a band. It's it's ayahuasca music. It's like the
hell yeah.
okay.
the medicine music that is like from start to finish, like opening up the ceremony to closing the ceremony and through it. And so I get it in a certain headspace when I listen to that. And sometimes I use that for my clients and stuff. So because of this last crazy week, I've been using it for myself. You know what I mean? Like, cause it comes in and all you can hear is like the wind at first. And then it's like, whew, whew, and then it starts, and it starts to bring all of these,
Moving the energy.
like natural elements. And so I feel like I've been needing like a cleansing, or you know what I mean? And so that's the kind of thing I get pumped in the car by myself, like clean myself on the way to work or something.
Heck
I
yeah.
love
So
that.
that's it.
Mel's heady.
It's,
I like that.
I kind of am heady. I really am.
I think maybe I need to listen to that instead of Goat and
Yeah,
calm
or
down a
Itch.io.
little.
No, like I'm telling you guys, it's like a palate cleanser also for music, because we do listen to so much music.
Tons.
So, and always in preparation for interviews, we'll listen to the artist's music, of course, because we want to get a little bit fresh and stuff. So I think about that as like feeding. I'm eating a lot all the time in my head. I'm listening to lots of lyrics and lots of beats and lots of different transitions. And because we listen to improvisational music, it's a big diet. Like it's a
Right.
big sound.
You're
I'm
at the buffet
digesting
all the time.
Yeah, I'm digesting a lot. And so I don't always want to hear words in sentences that make things. I want to hear stuff that kind of clears it out.
Yeah.
Or just kind of lets my brain think natural thoughts, but not like prescripted or written words. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
processing.
yeah, it's a palate cleanser. It allows me to kind of like a fast, for my brain, and but it's also nurturing because it's like medicine music,
I have to
Yeah.
give honorable mention to Toro y Moi too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Those guys are dope.
Yes.
Dope.
I will say this, when I was pleasantly surprised, and they're big, but a friend of mine and I went to go see Django last year at Edgefield. You went over there?
Holly went,
Holly
yeah.
went. It was so good, and I just didn't know what to expect, so I didn't even know what I was in for. And they put on an excellent live show. Their sound is great. So if you're out there, go see Jungle.
But first go see Yak Attack and Banshee Tree. So
That's right.
where can people go to find out tour info and see if you're coming through and when and all that?
Well, I mean, it's on, at least for Banshee Tree, I'm sure it's the same for you guys, but it's on the website. Instagram is where we're the most active as far as social media, and Facebook. So it's all up in all the socials.
Banshee Tree's Instagram is just at Banshee Tree.
Yep.
Okay. And what about Yak?
Yeah, and we're at Yak Attack Music.
And same, people can find all the info there and links and all
Yes,
that.
we are not the kayak company, but after that, we should show up in the Google SEO.
Okay. And then tour dates start
February.
February 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So like
we're
few
coming
days.
up on it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Cool.
You're
And then
gearing up.
Also, Michelle, you're getting ready to when is your side project happening? When is music coming out?
So I don't have a specific date yet, but I'm going to be dropping my first single in April.
Okay,
Ooh,
awesome.
That's something
That's
to look
exciting.
forward
Hell
to.
yeah.
And congrats.
Yeah.
Right
Thank you.
on.
And what about Yak? You said that you guys have new stuff, 4 songs in the works.
We've got stuff that's like pretty much at the mastering phase, and so then we just got to figure out how we want to release it, or if we want to try to package more stuff, so that we can sell it on iTunes for more than $7.99.
Yes.
And all that fun stuff, right? That's
Right.
totally, helps me feel really good about my artistic integrity. But, the first stage gate of like having the music done, is one that always takes way longer than I think it should. But excited to have that, and we'll figure out the rest with,
so stay
with the rest of our
tuned
team.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever need to feel better about it, that when your stomach does that rumbling thing when you're hungry, then that's the justification.
Yeah.
There it is. I'm hungry. I need to eat. This is how I do it. It's okay. All right, everybody. Well,
Aw.
if Yak Attack and Banshee Tree come through your town, you don't go, you
missed out on one
should-
hell of a dance party.
Yeah.
Your feet are not going to thank you. So, thanks everybody for doing this with us. This was super fun.
This was great.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, Michelle. We'll talk to you soon.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Like twisting, turns to mission, turning it's a journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? One simple road. My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.